stigma and the discriminations on it, and we know how pregnancy is. It is not. That is why people say we should respect our mothers a lot, because they went through a lot. It can. There's some people say it's 9 months of hell.
Yeah, that's how it is.
So it's very painful. If you think of all those things, I don't think you will want to. Put your girl through all those situations.
Okay. Another issue that I want us to come on is the issue of sexual harassment. This is an issue that I always want to talk about, because just like they always say, there are 3 forms of sexual harassment, according to Mr. Suleiman Bunjai. He says the lookrish, that is the looking, the touches, touching and feeling, and the talkish, flow of words. We have sexual harassment at a very, very high magnitude, especially when it comes to verbal harassment. Like there are certain words that guys say to girls, which is sexual harassment, but instead girls feel really good about it. Like look at a girl and say, son, why yangi ba? Those kind of things, girls feel good. The other one, but I want us to focus on sexual harassment in schools. Especially, there was a time we had this case where in this school, CPA and of course other institutions were lobbying to make sure that the toilets of boys and girls are separated. Because what some bad boys do, Jay, more then they jël lu ñëw comme pour ça ñu bëna pa. Like let's say if the toilet of the boys and girls is stick together, they create a whole lot of it, and when a girl is going to school, you see is going to the toilet, rather you see a boy also going to the other side of the toilet and peeping and looking inside, which is sexual harassment. The other one is the issue of the setu, the mirror. You see girls wearing skirts, and the boy will just throw the mirror to the floor and then be peeping on what the girl really is wearing. And the most serious one to me is the issue of student-teacher relationships. We do see girls dating teachers just for better grades. From your own point of view as an activist, what is your general scope of sexual harassment in schools?
I will personally say that sexual harassment in schools, most of the times it happens in the lower basic level. Even though in the junior and senior, one can say that those people, at least they will be doing it for marks or something. But at a very lower grade, you see certain teachers, they would make a girl to lie down on the floor, and they'll take a stick to be beating the girl.
They'll be like,
at the back, and yeah, exactly, where's your badge thingy? And it's like they're not touching the badge itself, but they're trying to touch or feel the breast or something. And that is sexual harassment. In senior secondary schools or even in university level, you can see certain students dating teachers for marks or for grades. But at the end of the day, we have come into a world wherein, especially if I look at it from my own point of view as an economy student, now wherever you go to have a job, you're given an exam. So even if the teacher, you're dating the teacher for marks, at the end of the day, it's going to be detrimental to you, because you don't have the stuff, you're having the grades free of charge. When you go to apply for a job somewhere, you're given an exam and you've not been learning in school, it means that you would fail, and that means that your school fees that has been paid has all gone into the drains.
And there's no job for you.
And there's no job for you. At the end of the day, you venture into certain things that are not of any moral value. So, I mean, dating teachers in school has to stop. We also, the authorities in the school, I think the work they're doing is very, very little. The authorities in the school should make sure that they go on, I mean, constant investigations, constant monitoring in the schools. Because if a girl is participating in, there's someone who says an intelligent person does not need to talk. The moment the person sits, you will know that the person is intelligent or not. If someone is having certain grades, you should be at least able to, as a principal, I mean, one that is very cautious, you should be able to know what is happening. Is she really earning this? We should have supervisors that are supervising teachers coming into classrooms and see what is happening. Then at the end of the day, they'll be able to evaluate and see is this correct or not. And maybe they can come up with a strategy wherein the teacher that is giving you the work would not mark your paper. Because if I am dating you and someone else I don't know is going to mark my paper, it will not be of any benefit to me. So maybe we should come up with other strategies that will counter certain things.
Yeah, but the good thing is the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education has the sexual harassment policy, which is indeed very much good and effectively working in making sure that certain unscrupulous acts are stopped in schools.
No, but certain most of the times, like there was this case in the rural areas, wherein the teacher was abusing the child, and the child became pregnant, and at the end of the day, everything was gone because I would say in the Gambia here, one thing is disturbing us. That is the Maslaha syndrome.
Culture of silence.
Yes, the culture of silence. The teacher has been harassing the student up to a point that the student became pregnant. And at the end of the day, the case was killed because the headmaster did not want the school's name to be tarnished or something else. Because as a parent, if I hear that a student is being impregnated in a particular school by a teacher, I would, think twice before sending my child to that school. So it's because of this culture of silence that is making people to, not report cases. Because if we have 1 or 2 cases in school reported, the person prosecuted, taken to court and sent to prison, I mean, cases of this will come down. Okay. But people are not coming out to say it. So we cannot help very much if people are not coming out to tell us that this and this and this is happening.
Okay.
Jainaba, I would like to know, is it the parent, the teacher to be blamed or the student itself?
We can say both parties are to be blamed. But like Sabili said, in certain cases of if it's a rape or something, the victim is always not to be blamed. No, but as a teacher, you're a parent. I mean, imagine your daughter or your own son your daughter being sent to a school and the person being impregnated by another teacher. How does it feel? I mean, you are pretending that your daughter is going to school whilst that is not happening. And especially these private study classes that students have in their teachers' homes, that is the most dangerous one I can say. Because I am sending my child at the end of the day to go at the end of school hours to go to the teacher's house and have their studies. I am not there. Only the student and the teacher. Anything can happen. Like there's this grandmother of mine that would say there are only 2 people that you can live in a room and you will be very sure that nothing will happen. That is a boy that has just been circumcised and a woman who's just delivered. Other than that, any other 2 people that you put in the same room, anything can happen.
Okay.
Yeah, and talking about who the one who is on the wrong side. It depends. When it is an individual under the age of 18, the teacher is always to be blamed because we believe that any person, any child who's under the age of 18 is not matured enough to give consent to certain things, especially consent to things that has to do with sex and all those things. They are not well matured, to reason into those things. So in those cases, no matter what happens, even if the child accepts, the teacher is the one who is on the wrong side. The teacher is to be blamed.
But I don't think a teacher also, a child forcing you to date her because of having good grades, I don't think a good teacher will have to accept that.
Yeah.
But there was this workshop I attended, and this teacher told me, he's a cute teacher, he's cute. He told me that sometimes when he gives his students assignments, there was this girl who would always put a note and her picture inside the book where the assignment is. And whenever the teacher opens the book, he sees the picture and the note. And that continued on 3 occasions, and after numerous cautions, the girl kept doing it. So what he had to do was report the girl to the principal, and that was how it stopped. But the girl refused to attend the teacher's class anyway. But he was not really bothered because he knew what he was running away from. So teachers are not all the time to be blamed. And they're human beings and they have emotions. But sometimes students really push them to the wall. And obviously if you push someone to the wall, most of the time they react and bounce back. So students also have a very, very big role to play when it comes to bringing a complete halt to teacher-student relationship, especially linking it to sexual harassment in schools. Yeah. And that would bring me to my next question.
Now wait, before you move on, talking about that situation, you from the way you're talking, that student looks very mature. It looks like somebody who is above the age of 18. Do you think somebody at the, under the age of, like somebody who is 13, 12 going down will think of something like that?
Somebody 15, 16,
but 15,
17
16, 17. Once you start cautioning that person, like if you do this, this is what we all know our principles.
No,
we all know how suspensions look like.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, so once you caution that person that if you do this, this is what is going to happen, that person is going to stop. That is, that you are very, very sure of that. when you talk about somebody who is very, very mature,